Try that. Hey, Carol, Liz, just checking in. All right, bye bye. Are you there, Garo?
I'm here. Hello, everyone. If you could please switch on your videos so we can see you.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello. We
Um,
are expecting a few more people. I don't know, they might be delayed a bit, but we can start anyway.
I can't get my video going, but I'm here. My name is Liz.
Okay, well, you may know one another or you may not. Uh,
I don't know. Oh, I've seen Ramona before.
okay,
Me?
Yeah,
Oh, where have you seen me? Sorry, I don't know. Um,
on one of these.
no, it's the first time I'm joining this one, actually.
Oh, okay. We
Yeah,
must
unless
have
that's
somebody else
probably
then.
someone else, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
okay, well, I'll explain a couple of things before we begin, just for the benefit of those who have never attended my Q&A sessions before. Q&A sessions are basically a friendly get together for us to discuss points of views, share our ideas. I don't hold all the answers. I have some, maybe, and we can learn from one another. This is not the place for anyone to get offended. We talk openly, no holds barred, and if you have anything to share, you'll be very, very welcome to do so. The session is being recorded. It will be shared on social platforms as you have been advised previously. So, to kick off the meeting today, I wanted to discuss something that happened with me. Um, I was on the street doing some shopping, and this lady was preaching from the Bible. And I went by her, and she was saying something like, all sinners are going to go to hell. And if you are not baptized, you will go to hell. So I had some time to kill. I thought, let me just have a little chat with her and see what this is all about. So I asked her, I said, are you saying that if somebody is not baptized, they are going to hell? And she said, yes, absolutely. And then I asked her, I said, do you mean to say that only the Christians in this world are going to heaven because they've been baptized? She said, well, if you haven't been baptized, then you go to hell. Now, this is where I asked her a tricky question. And I said, okay, a baby is born and the baby dies before they get the chance to be baptized. What happens here? And she got a bit stuck here. If they haven't been baptized, I said, come on, by the token, what you said, this baby hasn't been baptized, this baby is going to go to hell. Well, it's not the case for the babies. I said, show me the evidence. This isn't about me, by the way, and not about religion. This is about ignorance, and I'll get to the point. She couldn't demonstrate, she couldn't counter argue, she couldn't say anything. And she said, well, if we go strictly by the book, then anyone who's not been baptized goes to hell. And I said, and you worship that sort of God. She couldn't answer, she avoided me, and I walked off. The reason I brought this up is I've noticed quite a lot of people um, are in the habit of making it up as they go along. Um, Specifically when it comes to matters to do with religion. It's fascinating that, as some of you may know, Christ, well, the man we refer to as Christ or Jesus, he came from our part of the world, um, the Mediterranean, Middle East, or whatever, Israel, that sort of area. And people supposedly are following him, his teachings, and they talk about it like they know all the answers, but they don't even know his name. So here's a trick question for you both ladies. Liz, you know the answer to this. You've attended this sort of thing before. So may I put Julie and Ramona in the hotspot here and ask you
Yeah.
to tell
Mhm.
what is his name?
Yeshua. Jesus, of course. Yeah.
Spot
No.
on. Spot on. You're half Lebanese, and that's
Yeah.
cheating. That's cheating. You knew the answer.
Yeah. I know that. Yeah, I'm half Lebanese as well, actually. But yeah,
Yeah.
so
No.
I can relate to Garo actually. But you're originally Armenian, I guess. You're brought up in
Am I?
Lebanon.
Yes, I
Yeah.
am. Yeah.
I realized from your surname. Yeah.
Thanks for the spoiler. You spoiled
Sorry.
now 10 minutes of
Yeah.
my speech, and there you go. So, Julie, can you guess his name?
Well, I now I would have said Yeshua. I would have said Jesus anyway because that's the name that he's referred to. But I don't think it matters what his name is actually. Yeah.
Actually, it does in a sense, because if they are ignorant of the name, then what else are they ignorant of? Because they don't know the name. But we know the name because in our culture, it's embedded in our religion and so forth. We call him Yeshua, and that is his name. This is, of course, petty, because
Yeah.
I'm sure the Son of Man, and notice I use the word the Son of Man, the term Son of Man. The Son of Man actually refers to himself as insignificant. It's the message that counts, it's the action that counts. But this is out of interest. Again, as I said, my mission in life, my purpose, is to shine the light, to bring awareness, not to prove myself right or wrong. I couldn't care less. I'm not a child. However, I'd like to educate people where I can, to bring the light to them and to make them understand where they're going wrong. So when they start to come up with all sorts of things, I always counter it with the most basic elements here. And why I brought up the Son of Man term, anyone here knows why?
No.
Ramona, I'll mute you. Julia, have you got any idea?
Um, Son of Man versus saying Son of God. You mean son?
Yes.
Well, I don't. I don't know why why. I don't know why.
Okay. The reason why I brought it up is because in the Bible, in the New Testament, when Yeshua refers to himself, he always addresses himself as the Son of Man. He never says the Son of God. And there's a very good reason for it. Because he never wanted to pass himself as a God, as a deity, or anything above human. We have elevated him to that level. We have taken him to the level of Son of God, but that's not good enough. We've now gone past that. He is God. So he is God, he's the Son of God, he's the we've gone way past. But here we go. Here we are presented with a very simple fact where Yeshua himself refers to himself as the Son of Man. So these are simple things that I find them conflicting.
Mhm.
You know, I don't find the message of Yeshua conflicting at all. In fact, we are blessed to have had his teachings, and the world is a far better place when we follow these teachings of his, because he's come here to teach us about love. And I find Yeshua a fascinating human being. I find Yeshua amazing with his gifts, abilities, whatever you want to call them. But I find him a very big, daring rebel. A very big, daring rebel. And a lot of people fail to see the point here. Um, so, some people tell me I break the rules of the Bible through the work I do. I tell them, prove it to me. In the New Testament, Jesus said nothing about what I do. In fact, he encourages and he says, go on to people, to the patients, pray for them and heal them, which I do, apart from the readings and so forth, communing with the other side. However, before I break the rules, before me breaking any rules, someone else broke the rules in a very, very, very big way in the Bible. Can you guess who it was?
Yeah. Yeshua.
Yeah, he broke the rules. He broke the first and simplest rule ever. This is not a question, trick question here, but I'd love to hear from Ramona if you can put two and two together. Ramona, do you know how he broke the rules?
I mean, he broke all the rules of the Old Testament, obviously, and like he was rebelling against like the high priest and stuff. Like when he went to the temple. I don't know exactly, but to explain it. And
Oh, no. In the temple, that was him using, his patience with them, and they were violating the rules. But I'm talking about the rules of religion of the Bible. Um, it was when they brought him that woman who had committed adultery, and they said we need to stone her. According to the laws of Moses, we need to stone this woman because she had committed adultery. Here, Yeshua was presented with a huge dilemma, a very big conflict. Stone, but here I am. He comes from love. He comes from love. And a lady who actually was a prostitute actually stood by his mother when he was crucified. So he was open to all humanity. He wouldn't discriminate. This is why I absolutely love him and adore him for his character. However, when they brought that lady, he said, he who is without sin casts the first stone. And that broke the rule because that is not the rule of Moses. What he said broke the rule, and this means he's detached from the old ways and he's bringing the new way. Now, I'm not saying that I am anything special here or whatever. I have just a little mission to serve in my life for whatever years I have remaining here, and that is to bring awareness, to bring, to educate people, to unite people, to bring whatever I can in terms of love and hope, healing to people around me. I know we are now on the edge of enlightenment. It's yet to come. Believe it or not, of course, the world currently is not a very good place, but it will soon become a better place. And in the process, people have to discard of the old archaic thinking, which is now inapplicable to the way we live and how we are. And this is what I'm hoping for people to start becoming more self-aware and to remove the fear from themselves and to grasp what is to come in the future. And we never lose the teachings of Yeshua, which is being humble, loving, helping others, caring, being human being, basically. So this is what I wanted to open up with. And if you have any comments or questions, please feel free.
Garo, I think that it's terrible in the United States the way where I live, the way the predominant controlling party, which would, or I'll say almost like regime, with starting with Trump and his cabinet and the people, are saying that they're doing things that are in furtherance of Christianity because they're like with the ICE agents throwing children and immigrants like in equivalent to concentration camps, in my opinion, and um, having done away with any kind of due process. I mean, all this in the name of Christianity. I don't believe it. I think it's horrible. I think if Yeshua was here, he would be helping these immigrants, not doing what's happening. And it does make me depressed. It makes me very. I don't see the enlightenment coming because I see more and more acts being done. I mean, also even you look at what's happening in Gaza. That's horrific, and I can't explain how human beings can destroy children, elderly, and all that with that. In the name of I don't I don't know what I think. See, I think religion, and this is getting off topic a little bit, but I think religion is being used as power grab. It's like
I think,
yeah.
I think religion's been used like that for centuries and centuries. I don't think it's
Yeah.
anything new.
You're probably right, but I see some right now because so much is happening in the Middle East and in Ukraine. It's at least in my lifetime, it's the worst I've ever seen. Of course, there were always pockets where terrible things were being done. I don't understand. I don't understand. I can't give it a bigger meaning. Other than sometimes I think maybe human beings are not very much evolved. Animals, I mean, they kill, but they kill for better purpose.
Mhm.
Survive, to eat, or to protect their young. We kill not to necessarily. I mean, it's not to survive. It's not to protect our young. We kill. I'm telling you, I think it's to be on top, to have power, to greed, material things. Why? Is that what human beings really are? Human nature? I mean, mine isn't, but I'm just.
Anyone else wants to comment before I comment myself?
I agree with Julie, obviously, because I think everyone uses religion as, well, basically they like hide. Everyone hides like behind religion. And I think it was invented to control basically all populations. Because people are so like brainwashed, and especially like what you're saying, these I don't know, like I'm brought up as a Christian as well, but it doesn't mean I agree with everything they say. And like what you're saying, like, I don't know, born again Christians, for example, like if you don't agree or you're baptized, everyone is going to hell. And I think like, where did they get this information from? And who are you to judge? Like, we're nobody to judge someone else. And the way they think is just brainwashing. Um, I don't know. Sometimes I don't agree with my own family members anyway. Some of them can be too close-minded. So anyway,
Liz, anything you want to say?
Well, yeah, I'm sitting here with a Trump t-shirt on, Veterans for Trump, so I'm afraid that Julie and I are not on the same train, but I respect your opinion too, Julie.
Okay.
And uh doesn't it say in the Old Testament someplace that if you're not baptized that you'll never enter the kingdom of heaven?
Maybe.
I mean, I don't agree with that, but I think it does.
I think it says if you're wearing a Trump T-shirt, you won't go to heaven.
Well, then I guess I won't see you there then, will I?
Julie, I don't know anything about American politics. I'm not in America. I'm in England. We have our share of issues here. We have the same sort of manifested clowns, all sorts of characters here. However, I recall the name of religion being used by manipulators throughout the history of humanity. I grew up in Lebanon during some of the war, not throughout the war, but some of it. And I saw people being lined up to be executed From a distance, I saw dozens, maybe hundreds of them being lined up against the wall. And we had binoculars because we're in the Christian side, and I'm peering all the way down into the near the coastal area where the Christians had lined them up to execute them. My mom caught me, I was maybe 7, 8, I can't remember, watching that, and she pulled me away and she said, I asked her what's going on, and she said nothing. They are searching them. She created an excuse. Later, I found out that priests would turn up to these events and bless the soldiers who are carrying out the executions. And this was mind-boggling for me. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. What's going on here? You're killing these people, spraying them indiscriminately. Most of them are not even fighters, they're civilians. Just because they're Muslim, just because they're Palestinians, or whatever they are. Equally, I must say, the Palestinians in Lebanon performed some great acts of murder and, complete evil. So, again, we all know the battle cry. It's become synonymous with Muslims, unfortunately. We have it in all religions, all over the world. People are being manipulated to hate, and they're being taken to an extreme. But as I said, we are on the edge of enlightenment. We're not quite there. We need to go through this extreme before we are cleansed, before we actually move to a better place. We have to go through the process, and we are going through it. It's not too long ago, during the Spanish Inquisition, people, for the sake of religion, used to boil people, burn them, and force them to confess. You are a sinner. I'd love to sit and argue with such clowns and ask them, how is this person a sinner when they are created in the image of God? Yeah? What makes them a sinner? If there's any malfunction in this guy or this girl or whoever, then it comes not from them, it comes from those that they were created in their image. What are you on about? Boiling them and, chastising people this way? You can't do that. Sadly, in America, and I must say here, I have clients from both and friends from both sides of the spectrum here. And family. How dare I forget? I have family in America. Some of them are hardcore Republicans, and some of them are hardcore Democrats. I swear to you, I love them both. Because fundamentally, when we remove all this nonsense to one side, I see them as humans, and they are absolutely wonderful people. The messages of support they sent me during my times of crisis, when I had a couple of accidents that were life-threatening, the support that they give me, I wish they gave this sort of love to one another. But instead, they're fueling hate more and more and more and more. And I'm thinking, hang on a minute. You're doing all of this just for the sake of one man or one woman or one person. Wake up, people. Wake up. You're being taken for a ride. And they're going fundamentally with it. Wow, there you go. This is what I've done. I shut them up. Where is this hate coming from? And this is in the name of religion, Christianity. You don't even know his name. You don't even know his name. You can't be following in his steps if you don't know the man. You don't know the name. Because the man has taught us to love one another. He says, love thy enemy, full stop. You can't be hating this way to anyone. You can't. So one of these days, we will come back to the senses. Sorry.
Liz, I totally understand different points of view, but I do want to say that Trump said, I hate my enemy. I'm just saying that because Garo mentioned what you're supposed to do is love your enemy. He actually says, he said, I hate my enemies. And he's all about retribution. And that's troubling. But Garo, the important thing, everything you say, I agree with. And I just want to tell you that my husband is Christian, or his background. My background actually is Jewish, and my daughter, and we raised our children very ecumenically. We belong to a Unitarian congregation, and we let them understand all religions. Okay, and then my daughter married a wonderful man from Egypt, and he's Muslim. So my grandchildren have in their blood, their DNA, Jewish, Christian, and Muslim, and they're the most wonderful. I know I'm biased. Open-minded and being raised with the right principles, and they don't know hate. They don't know hate. But my question to you is, because you made the statement that we're on the road to enlightenment and everything's going to be okay. Where's the evidence of that? I don't.
You are the evidence. You just said it yourself.
I'm just one person, and I don't feel okay. That I don't feel.
The ocean is made of many drops, my dear. My sister is married to a Muslim. I am married to a Maronite woman. Maronite is like hardcore Catholic in Lebanon. I'm Armenian, as Ramona knows. Hardcore Catholic in Lebanon, they hate my guts. And I hate their guts. This is what I'm supposed to be. What do? I married one of them. And she married an Armenian. We both got a lot of problems because of this. And I worship the ground she walks on, as she does herself. We love each other. And we have a daughter, and we're teaching her the most basic principles of Christ. Love. See, you're one drop, I'm another drop. As I know Liz with her t-shirt. She is also another drop, because this lady is a very fine lady, as Ramona is quality people. This is what it's about. The age of enlightenment is not too far. But unfortunately for all of us, there are manipulators out there, and they know which buttons to push, which strings to pull. And we are like sheep going, fighting against each other while they get richer, while they clap, while they build their rockets. And if all hell gets loose here on this planet, they can abandon and go to Mars and do whatever they want to do. Look at them. A few months ago, Elon Musk wiped the floor with Trump. He accused him of being a pedophile with Jeffrey whatever his name is, Einstein? Epstein. And he wiped the floor with him. And people went crazy. Absolutely crazy. They rode the wave like on their surfboards of hate and this and that. Everything was crazy. You want to tell me that this wasn't staged? Because all of a sudden they meet at the funeral of the poor man who passed away, who was murdered. And what happens? They shake hands. Nothing happened. Hang on a minute. What happened to all that hate? Both of you are responsible, because both of you ignited hate. And you meet up and like nothing had happened. So slowly people will start to realize and come out of the ignorance. And I'm not talking specifically about Trump, Elon Musk, Obama, or whoever. I'm saying even in our part of the world, people will start to understand, hang on, we're being taken for a ride here. I grew up in an extreme Catholic school. But before going to Lebanon, I grew up in Qatar. It was unheard of. People in the West didn't know Qatar until they heard that they're making a lot of petrol. That's when it became significant. So I grew up in Qatar. And right next to our home was a mosque. And they used to pray 4 times, 5 times a day. I can't remember. I was a child. But I learned the prayer by heart, even though I'm a Christian. And I'd wake up to the sound in the morning, and I swear, the man who used to pray, his voice was so beautiful and spiritual. I could feel his voice in my core. I used to pray with him. The prayer was short and it was beautiful. When I went to Lebanon, they would start talking about the Muslims as if they're animals, this, that, they're unclean, they're this, they're that. And it would hurt me inside because I didn't see that side of them. I didn't see them as animals. I see them as my brothers, my sisters. I saw good things from them. So this is the extreme, unfortunately, that's ruling all over us now. And one of these days, we are going to put it behind us and move on. So
When do you think that will happen?
when you take off your t-shirt,
Get out of here.
Liz, it needs time. We are going to have to go through difficult times. Let's rewind a little bit. It wasn't too long ago when, unfortunately, 6.5 million, if not more, Jews were executed in the most barbaric ways in the Nazi camps and so forth. Would that ever be repeated? It could be repeated, but would it be repeated? I doubt it, because the whole world now stands against something like this. Yes, there will always be battle, discrimination, hatred. Think of the Palestinians attacking on the 7th of October. Think of the retaliation by the Israelis. They will always kill each other. But killing en masse, how it happened, like that sort of thing, I doubt that will happen. People will not stand for it. So we've moved on from that. Spanish Inquisition, boiling people, grilling them, getting them to confess. Would that happen? No, it's not going to happen. It happened a little bit when ISIS came and they were torturing people, but by the same token that they've come in force, they went out in force as well. So it's not going to happen. People are now more enlightened. We are more connected. We have the internet. Look at us here. We have 4 different backgrounds, and yet we are united. We're talking, we're discussing, we're learning. Once upon a time, if I was in Lebanon and I was quote speaking to someone who says, I'm Jewish, bloody hell, I would be in serious trouble. But here we are now, we're connecting, and I have some of my best friends and family who are Jews. So the world is slowly starting to edge closer. Unfortunately for us, the world has its own timeline. We can't accelerate the process, but we can certainly accelerate the process from within. I always recommend to everyone, pull back. Do not be influenced by what you're seeing outside. It is not the reality. It is created by manipulators for their own personal gain. I don't want to go far and say they are devils, they are here. I don't care about what they are. But what I know is that they are not here for our good. They are here for their own agenda.
Well said, Garo.
Bless your heart.
Totally agree. What I was going to say, you never know where you come from because, like, as you know, I'm half Lebanese, but I've done my ancestry.co.uk out of curiosity. And then I found out that I've got 4% Jewish Ashkenazi in my DNA. So I can say I'm Lebanese. I've got a little percentage of Jewish in me. So how would you know? You never know where your DNA comes from. Anyway.
Absolutely. I mean, before the wars in Lebanon, the civil wars and the consequential nonsense that we went through, we had a thriving Jewish community in Lebanon. And unfortunately, they've all ran away. We have synagogues in Lebanon that are now run down, of course, and which is a shame because there's a very big difference. Check this ignorance here. The Lebanese cannot tell the difference between a Jew, and a Zionist. There's a huge difference here, or an Israeli. They all are one label. This is the ignorance I'm talking about. A Jew is by religion. Because if you think about it technically, Yeshua, his background, he is Jewish.
Right. Yeah, the Last Supper was the Passover Seder, apparently.
He was Jewish, by his origin, he was Jewish. But he came out of the system and he created, he brought on a new sort of way of life. But he's Jewish. So, so there you go. We're one family. We're one family. But we are killing each other. And who gained? You think about the recent Israeli-Palestinian thing. 80,000 people have died if you accumulate everybody on both sides. Who gained? Who won? Nobody. Who won anything? I love it. I see the Palestinians raising flags saying, "We won." What did you win? Your land is destroyed. You've lost about 65, 70,000 people. And you, the Israelis, what about you? What happened to you? This is what Christ saw. This is what Yeshua saw. And this is why he said, love thy enemy. Because it's the only way we can coexist on this planet. Because if you love your enemy, that enemy is now no longer. That is the only way to exterminate hate, evil, and to overcome ignorance and fear. Love thy enemy. Open your heart to people. And unfortunately, people have to learn. If 70,000 people have to die, if 100,000 people have to die, if 1,000,000 have to die, people will die. Such is life. Life is cruel. Life is not sweet. And unfortunately, people will have to learn in time. This is where we're going. Anyone?
You would think, no, I would think if people would, if you look at history, but people, I guess, don't look at history. You could learn from that, and I think that personal knowledge of your enemy eliminates it in itself. I know my kids went on when they were in high school. The daughter that's married to the Egyptian, the Muslim. Okay, she benefited a great deal because she did a program called People to People, and it was started by the okay, our former president Eisenhower's daughter started this program, People to People, and what it was that high schoolers, if they'd have to study about the country they were going to go to, and then they would live with for like 3 weeks with the family there. Maybe they don't even speak the language, and they would learn all about that culture and go around. And the premise of it was that if you really know somebody from another culture, you're not going to hate them. You're going to love them. You're going to see the similarity, because there's more similarity than there is not, the opposite. So the hope was that the children, as they grew up, would unify everybody. It hasn't exactly worked, but it did work individually with those that went on this program. My daughter went to all over Europe and Greece and Italy, and it was a really good experience. And there was a lot of charity involved. She as a result of that program, she collected shoes from our area, and they were all were sent to Haiti, a very bad area. And she raised money for river blindness in the Congo. When you start to know other cultures and that everybody's really a human just like you, then you become charitable. It's not all about you. You give. So yeah.
Julie, she comes from a good seed. So why am I not surprised? She comes from love. So
Yeah.
well done to you.
And I have these wonderful grandchildren, and I'm so happy that they have all this different cultural influence. For Thanksgiving, my daughter's mother-in-law is coming in from Egypt, and she'll see her first Thanksgiving, but we'll all be there. It's all good. It's good, but we are such a little not compared to the rest of the world. Yeah, we're so tiny.
It is, but we're significant.
I'd like to have your optimism. I don't know. It's hard.
Aha.
Because
No, you make it hard. because you're allowing this external poison to get to you. Don't detach from it. You need to have faith and hope. And I have seen miracles in the last 40 plus years of service. And my hope is stronger than ever, and my faith is stronger than ever. I know that the good will prevail. I know that God will win over all. I know it. I can feel it in my core. And I've seen miraculous healings when I was at the church as a healer, time and time again. Incidentally, out of interest here, you said a very interesting point about love thy enemy or whatever. Uh, the person who sort of helped me prepare for what I'm doing was a psychotherapist. Bless her, she's now on the other side. She was an older lady, and she was actually Jewish. Spent 10 years on me to try and make me more prepared within myself. And she is my mother, and she is my second mother, and I love her with all my heart because of what she's done for me and what I've done for her as well. I am Armenian. I have so-called enemy who are the Turks. I was raised that the Turks massacred the Armenians and so forth. Okay? A lot of Armenians don't like me because I have Turkish friends. And in fact, one of my best friends in life, he is half Turkish, half Lebanese. And we have such a bond together because he stood with me when I needed somebody at my darkest hour. He stood by my side unconditionally. And so I made him the trustee for my daughter's trust because I have that sort of love and respect for him as he has for me. All of these are labels. It's the human that counts, the human. I can tell you, are all Armenians good? Hell no. Hell no, definitely not. Are all Lebanese good? Definitely not. All Jews good? Definitely not. Only an idiot would think that. Are all followers of Trump good? Definitely not. Are they all evil? Definitely not. I know from my own family, I've got people in America who are cousins of mine who follow him blindly, and they are the finest people you could meet. Absolutely lovely people. We disagree. We may not agree, whatever it is. But can I say that they're bad people because of what they believe politically? Definitely not. So here we are. We are taking steps forward, and it is thanks to you, Julie, and I'm sure Ramona and Liz and everybody here who I've met through this beautiful group, and I meet online through my service, and I see hope in all of you, which is absolutely beautiful. Liz, can we hear anything from you?
No, I'm just listening.
Do you have
Okay.
do you have anything to add, my dear?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No. Although it's nice that we live in a time where we can like agree to disagree, even though we're not on the same political side.
Absolutely. That's irrelevant. That's politics. That's absolutely irrelevant. It shouldn't conduct or dictate how we should be with each other as human beings.
Right.
You know, we can say, okay, this is my school of thought. Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
You may like me, you may not like me for what I think, but at least let's have love and respect with each other.
Yeah, yeah.
So I come to another point. Now we're off politics, off all of this. And somebody was telling me, was worried about reincarnation. And I don't know what your beliefs are in terms of reincarnation. So if I may begin here by asking each one of you, what are your points or beliefs about reincarnation? If you don't mind, whoever wants to volunteer is very welcome.
I can start first. I don't mind. Okay, so obviously, as you know, I was brought up in my father was a Maronite, as you said, very Christian family, and they don't believe in reincarnation and stuff. But then I started reading a lot and opening my mind more. And I'm currently reading Michael Newton's book, Journey of Souls, about past life regression therapy, basically. I don't know if you've heard of this book or.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I've got that book.
Yeah, I'm still halfway basically. Some people were saying it's like fiction, but some people were saying maybe they don't believe, I don't know. But some other people who are like more spiritual and open to more belief, they say they like real stories. And some people now, some therapists are starting to follow in his philosophy basically. And they and he discovered a case accidentally during one of his hypnosis sessions. Um in this book where when he hypnotizes people basically, and someone under hypnosis started talking about their past life. Um, and then he realized that he found a way where he puts people into a super conscious state. He says, like, we're conscious right now, and then you're unconscious, but there's a super conscious state where he describes this as having a third eye, for example. Um, and he could describe the journey between, like, when someone dies, and then what happens in the spirit world before that soul gets reincarnated once again. And then he decided to do an experiment, and he interviewed quite a few people who agreed to be hypnotized. And when they wake up out of hypnosis, basically, they don't remember anything at all, what they said. It only happens under hypnosis. So I'm currently reading it. And yes, kind of I'm changing my views. And then there was a TV program as well I used to watch. I don't know, you maybe know about it. It was called The Ghost Inside My Child, where they mention these stories of children who started saying lots of things and remembering things. Like, for example, a 3-year-old boy saying, I died in that plane crash, and even giving exact dates and description. And then the parents were investigating more, for example, and they found some people to help them like find information in the archives. And they actually found the grave of that person who died in a plane crash on that exact date, things like that. And there's studies, I think there's something in the University of Virginia where they study reincarnated children. I think even in Lebanon, they were studying some children. And there's lots of stories like this. So it's really hard to say, like a dogma, I don't believe in reincarnation, because there's lots of case studies which prove otherwise.
How inter-
Um, yeah,
how,
it's interesting. Yeah.
Julie, do you believe in any of this?
Yeah, I do. I've read what Ramona is reading, and I think is it Brian Weiss who also has some um books. I have a few, and I know the stories. I even did a past life regression once, but I didn't know whether it was just my creative imagination or whether I really was recalling something. So, but I do believe it, but I feel like um I just wish I could remember more, or I could actually know better. It's like this veil. There's a thick veil, right? And I can't. I mean, I just wish I knew more about my past lives. But
Would,
I do believe it. I do believe it.
but would you really want to?
It might explain it in case I'm here, like working out some things from before. It might help explain some fears that I don't know where, or feelings that I can't understand where they're from. I mean, I know if you go to a psychiatrist, they'll try to relate it to your childhood, but it may not be this childhood. It might be from a past life. So yeah, I would like to know.
And what about you, Liz? Do you believe in any of this?
I do 100%. Yeah. Um, from what I've read, and I've had a friend, one of my best friends, Leslie, she had a friend that her daughter was like 4 years old and talked about them coming over on the wagon train. And that certainly had a bit in past life. So I do, without a doubt, 100%. Yeah. And I don't know if I'd like a past life regression. Um, it'd be interesting. And I think I've had quite a few past lives, and uh, I touched on a couple of them myself. Uh, but I don't know. Julie, would you do it again? Past life regression?
I would if I thought I could really be able to be hypnotized. I can't be. It was hard to hypnotize me. Let's put it that way. But I would do it. I will tell you something kind of interesting. twice in my life, I when I met someone for the first time, I got a feeling like real strong. I know this person. And one of the people's my husband, my husband. And it was weird because it was just like a flash. It was like looking in his eyes. There was a connection. So what I think is that I've had past lives with him. And the other was a coworker who was a very, very dear friend for many, many years. And when yeah, it's just weird. I don't know if that's happened to anybody. Does that happen to any of you? Where when you meet someone and you look at them in their eyes, you feel something. Ooh, I know. I know you. And I also feel like I didn't have that strong kind of whole body feeling tingly. Like no, but I also had friendships where I feel like there's so much here. There's such a connection that we must have had lives before together.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There are a couple friends, not a lot, just a couple where I just kid around. I said, well, they're soul sisters. It just comes out. You're my soul sister just because of the strong relationship. Maybe they can complete. I'll start a sentence and they can complete the sentence for me. That kind of thing. Does that sound weird?
No, it doesn't sound weird at all to me,
Not at
Julie.
all. Not at all.
Okay.
I'm like you, by the way. I met my wife, can't remember now. It's been so many years. And we met when we were very young. And I looked at her, and one look, and I was frozen. I thought, where do I know you from? You look very familiar. In fact, I wasn't thinking, I was feeling it. I felt the connection. It was a different thing from, being just taken by love or beauty or whatever. It was the familiarity. I thought, I know you. And we connected. And you know what? Whenever we separated, whenever we had problems growing up in the relationship, my life became miserable. Whenever we're together, I feel complete. So it was quite fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the question here is the lady in question said, I'm afraid of reincarnation because if I go, I don't want to miss out on seeing my loved ones who are still on earth because by the time they've come to where I am, I would have left and gone to earth. So we'll miss each other. Do you see the dilemma here?
Mm-hmm.
So I explained to her, and of course, I never based on my own opinion, by the way. I always uh, get inspired from the other side with my answers. So I told her, I said, look, it doesn't work this way. There's no revolving door. You just don't go in, come out, and there's not a recycling plant, as it were, for souls. We go there, and we are there for the time that we need to be there. And then we come back when we are ready to come back. If we want to come back, your rights are also respected. You may not want to come back for whatever reason. And so this sort of sheds a different light on the subject. I do believe in reincarnation. Once upon a time, I'd never believed in it. Now I do believe in it. I've had a personal experience with it. So, however, what happens from what I've understood is that I don't imagine, let's say, my great 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 grandfather is waiting for Garo. He doesn't know who I am. We don't know. We've never met. If he's waiting for me, maybe out of interest, but I don't imagine he'll be waiting for me. He'll be waiting for his son or daughter and grandkids or whatever. So I think we stay there for the time that we need to stay there before we come back. Because equally as important to be united here on earth, it's also important for us to be united there on the other side. So that's how I feel about this. That's what was inspired to me. I hope I've made sense. I don't know.
I
I
think
got
you
what
have.
you're saying. Sorry, who's talking? I mean, sometimes I read like cases where they say, because I know this dilemma, what you mentioned, that people are scared that they don't meet their loved ones because by the time we go, someone else gets reincarnated. But then they say because in the spirit world, it's not the same like here on earth. And even if you get reincarnated, but part of the source of your soul will still be on the other side to greet your family member, for example. I mean, it's hard for us to understand from a physical perspective, but maybe from a spiritual perspective, maybe. Obviously, it's hard to understand, so I don't know if this is true or not. Something I read and I've seen quite a few times.
With all due respect, of course, people are free to believe in whatever they believe. I've never seen any evidence to prove that there are different parts to us. We're not a birthday cake. We're just one whole being. We're either here or we're either there. But then again, I hold up my hand. The world is a fascinating place. Who knows? Who knows what there is? But what I know from what I've been told is everything has to be in the correct order, correct situation for it to actually materialize, for it to work. This is what I know.
Do you know what they mean by that we're multi-dimensional beings?
Are,
Because
are,
I think,
are you
do you know
talking?
what that?
Sorry, Julie, are you talking with me or Ramona?
No, I'm asking, well, both of you in a way, because I think this idea about being in more than one place is they also refer to in the material being multi-dimensional. I'm not sure I understand that stuff, but so I'm asking either of you, do you know what that means? And is that related to having part of your soul being in one place and then another?
I've heard this, I've read this, especially on the group Proof of Life, where I've met most of you here. And some people come up with all sorts. And
Yeah, I don't know if it's true or not. Yeah, it's the same with me. I'm not sure if it's true, but
I don't subscribe to it. Personally, I don't.
yeah.
I don't. It's like, who are you then? Who are you? If a part of you is there, a part of you is here. Oh yeah. Well, what does that mean? No, I don't subscribe to it.
It's the same thing when I read about parallel lives, and that really confuses me. Yeah.
Parallel life, in what, here on Earth, you mean?
Yeah, there's some, yeah. No, I don't want to get too complicated. Forget. I just said you read this stuff, you hear this stuff, and it's like, whoa. It's our linear minds can only work. Look, I can't get over it when they talk about there is no time when you are spirit. Time is just something that we have here, and I can't wrap my head around that either.
That's very easy to explain.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, seriously. Do you want a serious answer or do you want a joke?
I want a serious answer.
Okay, I'll give you the serious answer, but you must promise me to listen to the joke as well.
Okay.
Serious answer is when you're dreaming, you're not really conscious of time, as it were. It's a very similar state of being. Similar. I'm not saying it's the same as dreaming, but I'm giving sort of an example. In a dream, you're not conscious of time. That's the sort of thing.
Okay.
Okay. We can't, by the way, Julie, no one, not one person here on earth will have all the answers from the other side, by the way. No one. In fact, my communicator, who is he happens to be an advanced soul or whatever, and he told me once, he said, Garo, even if you come to this side, you will not get all the answers. Even I don't have all the answers. We're learning. So there's that. Yeah, that time doesn't measure with us. Do you want the joke?
I can always use a laugh. Yep.
Well, when we die, we don't take our watches with us. So
Okay.
nobody knows what time it is.
Right.
I'm sorry. Very, very stupid, very silly joke.
Right.
So there it is. It's very simple. It's because of how we perceive time in a different mind. You know, it's the same mind, but in a different state. And during a dream, we can't perceive time.
Yeah. No, I understand that. Right.
Yeah.
It's just, but then I guess how do you meet up with all the people that you want to meet up with if you don't say, well, I'll meet you at such and such a time? I what I've read, I don't know if, is that from people that have had near death experiences. Okay, they give you a lot of information. Um, you think it, and there you are. Like all you have to do is think, I want to be at the beach, and there you are. Is that what you hear from your?
Yeah, that's sort of that's what happens usually.
And but then all you have to do is think, I want to see my grandmother, and there she is.
Yeah.
Really?
It's almost even less than thinking. It's faster than thinking, it's feeling. So you feel that grandma, and there you are.
Are we talking about near-death experiences now?
No, we're talking about how on the other side we get to see each other, connect with one
Oh,
another.
okay.
Yeah.
So the moment you feel it, your mind hasn't even processed it. That's how quick it is, because ultimately we are connected. It is the World Wide Web, but in the spirit world.
That's a good, yeah, that's good.
And incidentally, you need to know this, by the way. You don't have to reconnect with everybody. You connect with only the ones you want to. You are
Hmm.
given the choice and the option. For instance, if somebody has wronged you, you are given the choice. Do you want to forgive them? And you are given the choice, and your choice is respected.
Hmm.
That's good to know. But what if the other person wants to see you? It has to be a mute. Then both parties have to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Curious. So, going back to the same book that I'm currently reading, the Michael Newton Journey of Souls, it mentions that once we're on the other side, there's a case basically of someone who had her father, I believe, on the other side. And then when she got there, like the spirit guys told her, like he's in another group cluster of souls. So basically, apparently, you get put into different groups of souls depending how advanced you are in your knowledge and experience or evolution. So you can still connect if you want to, but you'll have your own group of souls basically. There'll be like circles of groups, like clusters. But so I'm thinking, okay, like how can I ensure that I'm going to see all my family members or the people I want to? And they say you can connect with them if you think of them, like you were saying, but you might be working with a different group on the other side, like your own group, and say your father can be in another group. And my whole point is like I look forward to seeing all of them in the same group, basically. So anyway, but yeah, I don't know if this is true, but who knows?
I'm sorry, Ramona, but this isn't true.
Well, I hope so.
No, because this creates segregation, and Christ's message from the other side is that we are united, that we are one, we are people all together. This will create, oh, why is Ramona not in my group? Or why am I not in Ramona's group? Oh, that's a VIP group, is it? It creates discrimination. We're back to square one here. No.
No, I get it. I get it. Some because I'm saying maybe we're thinking from a physical point of view now, not from a spiritual. Do you know what I mean?
However,
So
to supplement, and forgive me for interrupting, to supplement, uh, people can have different vibrations. So, for instance, a killer, a murderer, a rapist, they will not be on the same vibration as you. So they will not be able to link with you as such. They are, in an essence, in a different sort of vibration, different group, whatever you want to call it. But us collectively, we are all united there. We are all connected. In fact, the blessed angel's job over there is to make sure that we reconnect. And even if we have had differences, even if we've had falling out, even if we've been victimized by somebody, we meet them on the other side, we are given the option of reconciliation, forgiveness. And I tell you what, I've had a lot of souls come from the other side and reconnecting with people who they abused, who they may have had problems with here on earth, serious issues. And it has been truly inspiring. I've seen people here forgive people who had actually hurt them in a very bad way and move on from it. So this will happen on the other side. Ultimately, this is why we're reconnecting on the other side, because we all come from one anyway.
Is what they say about everyone has a life review before they do whatever you do on the other side? Is that, have you heard that too, Garo?
Please, can you explain a bit more? Everyone has a life with you?
Supposedly you see every single thing that you ever, or you, everything that you've ever thought, everything you ever did, and you get to understand it from the other person's point of view. So if you hurt someone, then you actually feel their pain. If you've made someone happy, you feel their happiness. You never heard that? I hear that all the time
Yeah,
from
I heard
people
that.
that
She said not life with you. She said life review. Review. Like a review. Like you see your whole life since you were born before your eyes, like in
a motion
past
picture, like a film,
Yeah,
like a
yeah. I
motion
know
picture.
what you're saying. Yeah, I read that. Yep.
Hang on a minute. Are you telling me that you see your life before you are born? You see it on the other side. When you are on the other side, you see your life on earth before you are born. Is that what you're saying?
No, no, when you get to the other side, when you pass, when your physical body, you pass away, and then
Yeah.
you're on the other side, the first thing that happens is that you have a review of that last life, the one
Oh,
you just.
okay. Forgive me. I misunderstood completely
uh,
here. Okay.
okay. And I'm asking if you've heard about that, because I hear about that all the time, as far as like the first thing that happens
Yes.
is that it,
I wouldn't be surprised. I've heard of this. In fact, my psychotherapist lady who I mentioned earlier, she firmly believed this. She said, she used to say it in a very simple term. She used to say, Garo, when you come to the other side, they'll sit you down. There won't be popcorn or juice, and you'll watch it on a TV screen. You'll see your whole life.
right.
This is how she broke it down. It could be very true. It could very well be true. Because I'm sure through the process, there is much to be learned. So if you go through a soul review or whatever review, life review, then you're going to benefit from it. You'll see some of the things that you may have forgotten about, some of the joy you brought to people, to animals, some of the hurt you've brought to people, animals. It's all valid.
And if you believe overall, the big picture is that we're here to evolve, to get closer to being just love or whatever. I don't know what by evolve, then that makes sense that you would get a chance to see how you did. And then you go on from there.
Yes. Now, love is very much obscured from the way we see things as humans here. Okay. Love, for instance, 14th of February, people buy chocolates and roses and so forth. Love can be taken in different ways. And the way I see love, it's expressed in service, service of others, helping others, and so forth. Everybody sees love in a different way. What we're striving for, I don't think we know. To be better within ourselves, definitely. I'm not the idiot who I was when I was 20. I'm not the fool who I was when I was 30. I'm learning, and I'm hoping that I will get better within myself, and I'm learning more and more as I go. So we're all on the same sort of evolutionary path here. Where it leads to, God knows. I have no idea. But it's fascinating.
Mhm.
Just want to make sure I'm seeing all my pets and all the animals I cared for, even if they were not my pets. 'Cause, yeah, I've seen lots of near-death experiences about that, basically. But that's my wish.
Uh,
Anyway, more
Ramona,
than seeing the aunties.
Ramona, we will be reunited with all the animals, all the pets, because the animal kingdom is very much alive and thriving on the other side. Look at this beauty here. Look, just look at him.
I saw him earlier.
Did you see? It's I got her during the
Or her.
pandemic.
Oh, she's a
She
girl. Yeah, oh,
yeah.
nice.
Well, I say I say she's trans because she was fixed. So she could be what you want, but
Yeah,
she's very loving. She's always attached to me,
it's
and
quite obvious. Oh, that's lovely. I know Liz has a couple of beauties as well. We have,
Five big beauties right now.
we have a loving cat here at home who's more human than cat. They are there. In fact, through many of my sessions, I'm not a specialist when it comes to communicating with the animal kingdom. I wish I was. I wish I had that ability. However, they push through and come for their keepers, their family, and so forth. I remember one distinct one. It was a big dog. He came through for his lady who was his mum, who was his keeper, and he kept showing me ice cream. And I said, "Look, I'm seeing ice cream." And she said, "That was his treat. I used to secretly treat him with ice cream." So he loved ice cream. So they are there, they're conscious, full of personality, and thriving more than ever. I heard an interesting point from uh, someone once, um, that the animals who have been hurt on this side of life, because sadly we have monsters here who hurt them. So animals who are hurt on this side of life are never asked or never forced to come back.
Hmm.
They are spared coming back to go through the same trauma, which is absolutely beautiful.
The last time I had a reading with you, Garo, my little dog came through.
Oh,
Yeah,
lovely, lovely to hear.
it was lovely. Yeah.
We look at this, Julie. Look at how much we've advanced and how much we're learning about the animal kingdom. I mean, we're now learning that, hang on a minute, uh, animals are actually empaths.
Mm-hmm.
Animals can feel what we're feeling. Animals know. Now, somebody is saying on the internet the other day, if you take your pet to the vet to be put down, don't just leave them and leave the room. Be with them till the last minute. It's painful to you, but think how painful it is for the animal. This knowledge comes after years and years. So we're evolving, we're learning. I know when the time comes for my cat, who I feel is my son. Uh, he is my son, absolutely. I know when his time comes, I'm not going to just dump him in a room and leave. So this is how life is. We're learning. We're learning to appreciate and learning from one another. Ramona, do you have a pet? Did you say you have one?
So not here at my because I live in London. I don't have any here, but I had about four visitor cats who used to come and visit me,
Oh,
and two of them passed away just 1 year after the other, like accidentally, unfortunately. They were not my pets, but they were like they adopted me basically. But my mom, at my mom's house, we have another two cats now, and another two passed away
okay.
as well. So basically we lost three cats in 1 year, and I was very upset.
It is upsetting.
But I literally booked a flight just to go. My sister told me our cat was dying, and I booked a flight in the morning for the evening. And I was with her for the last 4 hours when she was dying.
Bless your heart.
And
Bless
yeah,
well
and I
done.
was praying because we didn't want to euthanize her. So I was praying that she dies naturally because my mom was feeling very upset, like we don't want to euthanize her, but then she just died.
Yeah.
And I stayed with her all night.
Bless your soul.
Yeah, I was like, oh, so sad. But anyway,
Julie, do you see the other drop on the ocean here? Do you see the quality of person that she is?
yeah,
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
You don't
yeah.
know Liz. I know Liz from maybe a few years now, and
Uh-huh.
she is made of gold herself. Look at
I
that.
wish I wish I could see her, but her camera's off.
I know I'm not. I just can't. I'm not computer savvy. I can't get it up. I'm not sure why, but
Oh, okay.
So there you go. This is what I'm saying. We are creating the new world. It will come very slowly, but it's there. It's undeniable. I see it in all of you guys. I see it in all of you.
I know we're just maybe going off topic here, but I believe they have souls and spirits too, because both me and my mom, when our pets died at home, we experienced some supernatural experiences. I don't tell everyone because they probably think you're crazy, but like we did experience some stuff to make us believe that there's something else, basically.
Uh,
Um,
uh,
yeah.
Mona, uh, from my work with the animal kingdom and my interaction, they have far more soul than any of us have.
Mm.
So they are very much uh, full of life experience, full of joy and love. And yes, they are very much significant from the other side.
Sure. Yep. Mhm.
I just think it's amazing the way my little dog unconditionally loves me and my children, my sister. It's just beautiful. If people could be like that, it would be another world.
Yeah, that's what's so beautiful about them. This
Mm.
is what's so remarkable about them. And their understanding is not to be underestimated. They know more about us than we actually know about ourselves. They observe us. This is what they do. They observe us. My cat knows to trigger me. He throws things from the counter in the kitchen, and he does it on purpose. Yeah, he pushes things and they fall. So initially, my wife and I would jump. Now we learned because why he does it? Because my initial reaction, which was totally wrong, is I ran to the kitchen and I had to go at him, like, what the hell are you doing throwing this on the floor? So now he loves it. For him, it's comedy. He throws it on the floor. Who knows? If he had the camera, he would put it on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Scout does think
Clever.
my husband and I say that our dog is psychic because I don't understand how she knows when we're going to go out. She doesn't like us to leave her. And if she senses that we're going to go out, she hides because also we will put her out back if we're going to leave for a while, a couple hours. And if she senses we're going to go out, I don't know how she does. She hides so we can practically not find her. She'll go in my closet and she'll find a place where they're closed and she'll go under them and I can't find her. Or she'll go in the bathroom under the sink or whatever. It's very clever. And she also, just like your cat throws things, Scout's great at retrieving tennis balls. She loves it. She could do it forever. She has us trained. And what she'll do is when she'll throw it purposely or she'll push it purposely under the sofa so my husband has to get it. She does it so because she knows he'll get it.
Yeah,
If he's not going to play, that's what she'll do.
yeah.
So it's
So that's on purpose. That is intelligence.
oh
That,
yeah.
that's feeling, emotion, intelligence. Well, that's the definition of a soul, really. I mean, what else? Okay, just because they can't speak like we do, who cares about that communication? They have their own communication. So, yeah, absolutely. Spot on. Funny enough, I'll give you a bit of background here. In Lebanon, I grew up. There was no respect for animals. And very sadly, few people loved animals and cared for them and so forth. the general attitude is there is no necessarily specific respect for animals or the animal kingdom. Now things are changing big time. Now people are understanding. For instance, there was an incident not too long ago. Someone shot a dog in public, and the police went and arrested him. It's not going to be tolerated. So, again, as I said, the age of ignorance is slowly going. Now the new age is coming. Enlightenment. There you go. Well, this is a question and answer. If anyone has a question, I'm here to try and answer. If you guys have any questions on the paranormal.
Yeah, I do have a question. It's not related to animals now. I mean, yeah, first of all, let's say with the animals, when you have a spirit come forward, would you know if it's a spirit of an animal or a human? Or you just get like images, like you said, the ice cream, and then it will be the person you are reading that connects the dots.
No, in the case of the ice cream, I saw the animal. I saw the dog. I saw the dog first, and I don't see them the way we're seeing each other, by the way. I feel them. It's like almost like how a blind person works things out through braille or something. So I'm feeling things and then I'm putting, the points, linking the points. Ah, this is what I'm seeing here. Sometimes they'll send me images, sometimes feelings, sometimes I hear. So in this case, I saw the image of a dog. I couldn't be sure if that's his color or not or whatever, but I knew it's a dog. I could feel it's a dog. And then the ice cream came. So I knew it was linked to the dog.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And also, I just have one more question, I think. I don't know. Yeah, I'll let the others speak as well. Um, so as you mentioned cases of, for example, I don't know, like souls come forward. I don't know, it could be a case like for example, souls of children or something. I don't know, like last time you were talking to me and you said there's like this little girl or something. And for example, you said if you can't connect anything now, you might connect things in the future. So because we were talking about reincarnation and stuff, I started having these thoughts like, could it be maybe someone that I don't know yet, like someone from a past life, because I couldn't connect the dots, or could it be like spirits? Because on the other side, we don't know if they were like dead or yet to be born, for example, like they haven't been born yet, things like that, or maybe someone from a past life. Do you know what I mean?
No, no, no. It's neither of them. I don't pick up future. I don't pick up someone who's not incarnated yet or something. No, it has to be somebody who's linked to you. However, it does happen where third parties come through into some of my sessions to link with someone completely irrelevant, unrelated to us. So
Yeah,
it's
could be.
happened. Yeah, so
Yeah,
it could be your neighbor, it could be someone, because that's what they do. They gate crash. They see the opportunity.
yeah.
Oh,
No.
Ramona is receiving information. Ramona knows my mom, or Ramona knows my dad, or whoever, and they say, "Okay, I'm going to come through." But unfortunately, the way they come through, I wish I had a stronger ability to give even more information. I try my best, but they leave me to do most of the work, where I have to try and be a detective here and put two and two together.
Yeah, I understand because we're talking about time earlier. So we start thinking, how would we know, like in what time frame they're on the other side? Like, like maybe there is soul on the other side, and either there may be, I don't know, someone from a past life. That's why I was thinking, how
Ah,
would you know?
no.
Things like that, these scenarios. Anyway, I overanalyze things.
Um, I've had a situation, I think Liz may know about this, I've shared it before, where I was giving a reading to a lady, and this young 16, 17-year-old girl came through. In fact, she was maybe 15 or 16, if I'm not mistaken. And I picked up a blonde girl, and I said, "Look, I've got this feeling here about this young girl," and she couldn't place her. And then she showed me a branch breaking, and when I told the lady, I said, "Look, I don't know if this makes sense to you. I can see a tree branch break." And that's when she goes, "Oh my God, oh my God, what's going on here?" She said many years ago, she was scout leader, scout mister, whatever you call them, this lady. And she said, we had a girl here who was in a sort of a hammock, and it was tied to a tree branch which broke, and the girl fell, hit her head on a rock, and she unfortunately passed away. It was a severe impact. And she said, and then she goes, as she's telling me the story, she goes, oh my God. And she said, they don't live too far from me, her parents. So she told her parents, the girl's parents, and later one day the parents came through. I didn't know who they are. And she came through again for them. They never knew who they are. She came through again. I saw the same girl, the blonde and the beautiful smile. In fact, as I'm speaking about her, I get goose pimples all over, such a beautiful soul. And she came through for her parents. So this is how they gate crash.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Garo, when did you develop your ability to communicate with souls on the other side? How did that happen?
I don't believe I sort of developed as such. I had to develop myself to be ready to be in service. I grew up with this sort of ability. Some people call it gift or ability. I was seeing people from the other side when I was a child, not knowing what's going on. And think of that movie, Sixth Sense, if you remember.
Mm-hmm.
I was that sort of child, and I was in turmoil because I didn't know what the hell is real, what the hell is not real. And I grew up in Lebanon, a very strong religious environment, and I couldn't express myself. There was no material to read up on the paranormal or anything as such. So the closest I found was a French book in the library one day. And because I spoke French, but not to that level, and I was reading it, didn't make any sense. So it was very hard. My mom explained things away as my dreams. She said, you were dreaming. But in time, I started to see, hang on a minute, I'm not dreaming, this is real. And I was getting visitations. Not all of them were pleasant, very sadly. But it was part of my progress, my development, as it were. The main development that took place was through my blessed therapist friend who helped me deal with my issues and everything to be ready to deal with people's issues. Because she firmly believed that in order for you to be in service, you need to be ready within yourself to be able to serve others. Otherwise, you can't be ready. That process took about 12, 13 years at least.
Wow.
Yeah.
Also, how would you know? How can you be like 100% sure? Say the person who comes forward, the soul, is the actual person, not say, I don't know, an evil spirit impersonating them to I don't know, to give confusing messages or conflicting information.
Beautiful.
Like
It does happen. It's happened to me in the long, long past when I did not abide by natural law. I'll explain what is natural law. Before I start my any session, except for today, this is a Q&A session. We're not doing anything other than that. But before I start healing, before I start, let's say, readings or such sessions, I say two prayers. The first is a prayer to ask for permission to be of service, protection, and to be allowed to be a message of hope, faith, healing, and to be basically an instrument. I take a break. Second prayer is the Lord's Prayer. And then I surrender myself. Only when I start to feel within myself that the vibration is ready within myself. Because then I know that I'm protected. And I feel not only me, but the person who I'm connecting with, either on the other side or here on earth, we're all protected. Because no one is going to be allowed to come through because the gateway, as it were, the gateway is now protected by the blessed angels. They're not going to allow any clown to come through. That's if you do it properly. However, if you don't follow procedure and if you don't show humility and respect to the other side, you will get anything. But if you follow a discipline, if you follow a certain path, and if you show respect, you will get appreciation and you will get respect. One of the biggest sins I have seen all these mediums, psychics, whatever, they fall for it. One of the biggest problems is the me factor, where it's all about them, like my ability. I am this, I am that. And I look at them and I say, yeah, you may have an ability, but it's not about you. Your ability is not about you. Your ability is for you to serve others. Full stop. So such people may attract undesirables from the other side, if you know what I mean. Any other questions, guys? Liz?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Garo, because I think I learned a lot today just with these, with you and the two other very wonderful souls that were in human form.
Thank you, actually, for attending. I'm learning from you guys. This is what it's about. We're here to learn from one another and share our experiences. And I think this was a very healthy, good session for us. So please join us for the next one. I'd be very happy if you could join us. It'll always be wonderful for us to learn. But before I go, if anyone has anything else to add, you're very welcome to.
Thanks for your time, Garo.
You're welcome. Do you have any questions, Liz, before we go?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, ladies, absolutely beautiful to meet with you. Love you. You take good care of yourself. May the light of Christ, Yeshua, shine upon all of you and your families and your loved ones. Take care.
Thank you very
you.
much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.